Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're live in Studio 109. This is The Holistic Truth. I'm your host, Jamie Dorley, with the co-host, the godfather of nutrition, the one and only Joe Messino, and this is the Jamie and Joe Show. What is the Jamie and Joe Show?
It's still the longest-running episodic duo healthy talk show on the air today, multiple-time winner of Most Entertaining. In fact, they might as well just eliminate the category.
Yeah, I think we've got it for good now. So we're excited. We've done a big commitment to education in 2024. We started off the year talking about detox and GI, all leading to body comp management, otherwise known as weight loss for most people. But we want to give you a strategy behind it that's scientifically based, that's safe and effective, and guaranteed, Joe, to improve your body composition.
And your health.
Absolutely. When we talk about this, we looked at how the body has really been detoxified. We've rebuilt the GI. We did the seal and heal. And now our body's really ready to be able to manage the weight better. I'm sure a lot of you have already lost some weight, improved the body comp, and now the liver's working well, the GI is. And now we're really able to get fine-tuned because, it's right around the corner, bikini season.
Oh, it'll be here before you know it. I'm going to be ready, though.
But I think the area we start in is stress. Some people don't eat when they're stressed. I tend to eat when I'm stressed.
I'm the opposite. If I'm stressed and upset, I don't eat. I like to eat as a pleasure.
Okay. Pain or pleasure, choose it. But a lot of people will manage stress with food, with alcohol, sugars, dairy products, whatever it may be. But you got to realize there are some components in the brain. Have you ever heard you can't eat just one chip?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
That's because of the chemicals that they use for these products. They're not foods, right? And they're designed to make you eat more and more and buy more and more.
So it's like a simplified walkthrough, this tour of what happens in the body from stress to weight gain. The stress goes up. The stress hormone cortisol, which is actually a good thing, when that's elevated excessively, you crave a lot, right?
That's right.
So you're lowering leptin, which is a hormone sensitivity, right? And now hunger goes up. So how do people feel?
They feel terrible. They're so stressed, but yet they think the eating will help them, and it makes it worse.
It almost helps.
Almost.
Right? You eat that ice cream, you almost feel good, and then you don't, right? You eat that fast food, you almost feel good, then you don't. You crave that sugar, same thing, and even for alcohol for some people.
Yeah.
So stress goes up, cortisol goes up, leptin sensitivity, meaning your body is leptin resistant. Leptin and adiponectin are hormones that need to be in balance that really work on cravings, satiety, right? How much you burn and how much you store.
Yeah, feeling hungry and feeling full. I mean, it sounds so simple, but that's what just manages everything.
Yeah, so food is information. You give your body the wrong food, especially during heightened stress, it's going to promote weight gain. Not
only that, Jamie, it's going to promote nutrient deficiency.
Absolutely. So that's where we want to stress. So if you're having a lot of cravings, we know balancing blood sugar can help. Exercise can help, right? Changing your environment can help. Sometimes deep breathing can help. But what about nutritionally? What's one thing we created that will help really control your cravings?
Yeah, well, nutritionally, when cravings, you got to think of neurotransmitter production in the brain because cravings, they come from the brain. So you have to stimulate the proper neurotransmitters instead of the ones that are going to take you in the opposite direction.
Yeah, so things like rhodiola and theanine really help calm.
Yes.
Right? They reduce the stress-related physical and mental fatigue. The fenugreek in there will help with blood sugar imbalances. So a nice formula. I recommend to take 3 capsules as needed.
As needed, right.
If you get hungry towards, a lot of people, it's 6 to 9 at night, right?
Yeah.
They're done with work or school or kids. They're still managing their stress.
And the mind's racing.
Yeah. And also, I think it goes hand in hand with the activity.
Yeah.
When you get hungry or you're stressed hunger, right, write down what you're doing. A lot of times it's, I'm in my chair watching TV, right? At the table with a book, right? It tends to be the same environment. So be conscious of that. Pop 3 control about 4 or 5 o'clock, and that'll help you coast through the evening.
Absolutely.
The other thing is look at, well, why are you craving sugar? Maybe you got some bad bugs, Joe.
Yes, you can get
You got
those
some
easily.
critters in the body that are craving the sugar and the alcohol and the dairy products. So what type of bugs can these be?
Well, these can be different types of fungal invasions that are produced from the over ingestion of sugar and yeast. It could be yeast infection, but it could be also parasites that come into the body through bad food or bad water.
So our program, we want to starve these bad bugs. We do that by eliminating sugars and dairy products and processed junk. We want to kill them with something like Candid Kill, which is a great short to midterm formula. You don't need this forever.
No.
1 to 4 months generally does the trick. Then we want to replace them with the good bacteria.
That's right. That's right. All goes back to that, doesn't
So
it?
It always starts with the stress and the cravings, because if those are too elevated, it's going to be difficult to get any results.
Definitely, yeah.
So this has been proven. We went over this in our detox workshop. It's been proven at Harvard University that the types of bugs you have in the intestinal tract will determine your weight.
That's right.
So we want to shift them from the bad bugs to the good bugs. You also have the types of food you eat. Food is information, right? And, of course, your metabolic rate. So we're going to show you how today that you can improve your thermogenesis in the body without any stimulants, Joe, for the first time in history.
Without stimulants. Yeah, that's a good way to do it, Jamie. And especially when we look at this and Harvard says stop counting calories. And Dr. Tracy's been saying this for I don't know how long, for years and years. Because forget the calories. When you're counting calories, you're not paying attention to what's in the food you're eating.
Right.
Right?
I experienced this years ago as a personal trainer, a gentleman that was doing really good with me, business guy. Looking at his notes, and I see vodka. I said, what's going on? He said, I saved up calories, and I knew I was going to be drinking on the weekend. Yeah. The information of the food is more important, and you can't eat so much healthy vegetables that it would impact you. So,
No.
Types of food, your microbiome, and, of course, your metabolic rate, because what people are being educated on, Joe, out there, from Tufts University, they're being told that breakfast cereals and things like margarine are better than the natural sources.
Yeah, it's
Very
a shame. I
concerning.
mean, they did a little better on this with watermelon and kale, and but then it goes right downhill from there. You got frosted mini wheats, you got frozen yogurt, you've got orange juice that we know is depleted of all nutrients. I mean, come on. Honey Nut Cheerios?
This is what people are being educated on, so you got to be really careful. So we have a very simple food-based program.
There it is.
That we have Ultimate Shake, Proline Greens, which I just finished right now, and then the Thermogenesis Complete.
Now, hold on a second. Now, this looks like 2/3 of the detox protocol. Ultimate Shake, Proline Greens, and Live Complete. And all we did was substitute Thermogenesis for the weight loss component.
Yeah, and you will lose weight on a detox and a GI program if you really want to fine-tune or get to the next point. Now, could you substitute Ultimate Shake for Super Shake?
Sure.
Could you substitute greens for oranges?
Absolutely.
You can do
Best
it any
way,
which way.
all of them. Sure.
So we have 4 different protein-based shakes. We have 5 phytonutrient drinks like the greens, reds, oranges, purples, and chocolate greens. We have the Ultimate Shake, Super Shake, Best Way, and Nido Keto. So those are all interchangeable depending on the person.
You had me for a minute there when you said 5.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot about the chocolate greens. That's just taking the industry by storm.
Well, that's why I got to stick around a little bit longer, Joe, just in case you guys forget. That's what I'm here for. So you want to make it fun, simple, and easy to do on any of these protocols. So where do we start with food? Why the shake a day, Joe?
You know exactly what's in it, Jamie. You know that it has all the macronutrients, protein, fiber, carbs. You know that it has all of the micronutrients, vitamins, minerals. And we didn't stop there. We added in a detox component, a support for the liver.
Yeah, number one question I get on the shakes is how many calories in it? Seriously.
Yeah,
I get this question day after day.
That's the programming. They're used to asking that.
Yeah. We don't care how many calories it's in because if you get nutrients, they will have calories.
Of course.
Right? But you got to remember fat has more than twice the energy as protein and carbs. Fat and carbs are energy. So you got to choose one or the other. That's why the low-fat diet works and the low-carb diet works. I'm more of a modified Mediterranean approach. I like moderate fats. I like good fibrous carbs, not a lot of starchy, and higher protein. Everyone's a little bit different, but you can adjust based on where you are. Great point about the Ultimate Shake. What about the greens? We've talked about this quite a bit during the detox. Why would this help with weight loss?
Well, because it's going to support the body's natural processes with the green foods, increasing chlorophyll and oxygenation in the body, and with the component, the biohackers that we have in here, and with the detox matrix. You know, just because we did detoxes the first month doesn't mean, as we said, you shouldn't be addressing it on a regular basis.
Yeah, and I've had people lose 30 pounds on just the cleansing program in 1 month, 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the guy was not obese either. He was overweight. That was it. So we look at this as new innovations in body comp and weight solutions, right? We're really trying to get this thermogenic effect. And before we discuss it, what does thermogenesis mean? Well, it means we're heating up the cells on the inside in a healthy way. So it's like a fireplace, right? If you consume a lot of sugar, that's like kindling for a fire. What happens when you put the kindling and paper on it?
It just expands, right?
And then what happens?
Eventually it burns out.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
So that's like having sugar.
Mm-hmm.
You get that quick rush, and then it burns out your metabolic
crash.
rate, right?
Yep.
And what if you have a huge log on the fire, set like a Thanksgiving meal?
Yeah, it's going to take a long time to burn
It
through.
probably will just put the fire out, right? It'll put you to sleep. But if you get your metabolic rate going, like that fire goes going, and you feed it wood, what happens?
Then it burns on a steady basis. Just like
What
it
happens
will
if you
in
get a
your
little
body.
extra wood?
A little extra wood is
Burn
going to
it
burn
up.
a little more. Yeah.
A little bit lighter, it'll still keep going.
Sure.
So that's how you should look at your metabolic rate. We can do this with the diet. We know that your diet will help your metabolic rate because food is information.
right.
We know you can do this just with your regular basic metabolic rate through activity and exercise, right? And now we know we can do it through nutraceuticals. That's the exciting part for us, Joe, because this all works together with the diet, with the food, with the movement, the exercise. It all works together. Now you have something that's really going to help with all those components we've been talking about: the stress, the food, leptin, adiponectin, cortisol, all working together. So let's hear
Here
about
it is. This is brought. I mean, you know, it sounds like we repeat ourselves when we say it's one of the most successful launches that we've
this
had.
one is,
It
yeah.
really is. It took off so fast. Why? Because people got results immediately. Thermogenesis Complete, really, it is complete because it's going to address that process of burning energy right off the bat. And as you said, in addition to burning the energy, adjusting the hormones so that you feel full when you should. You're not hungry, you feel full. Controlling that in and of itself is a whole program, right?
Yeah,
Then
and,
blood sugar. Oh,
yeah, and without the stimulant, there's a lot of stimulants on the
stimulant.
market. We know all the names, right? They are stimulant based. They're going to raise your basic metabolic rate, but are also going to stimulate you, right? Your
Yes.
central nervous system, which is not a good thing, even short term anymore. We know it's not, right?
No.
That's where people run into issues. So this is a nice, safe, and effective alternative and solution for people that they don't have to rely on stimulants anymore, Joe.
And it's part of the complete series. Why? Because it didn't stop there. We added in the Garcinia cambogia, the hydroxycitric acid. And, you know, Jamie, I still think more people today have a problem with overloading carbs than anything else, and this is going to help your body process
And the
that.
great thing is the Nutritional Frontiers. You want to learn more about the formula, where do you go, Joe?
Go right to the website, nutritionalfrontiers.com. It's all there.
We have 4 categories. You go to catalog. You can type in anytime any of the formula names, and the formula will pop up. And then we have the literature. The front is more explaining or an overview, and the back is all the details and the ingredients. But what we're known for at Nutritional Frontiers, these comprehensive formulas, Joe. Why do we do that?
We want to make compliance as easy as possible, right? 1 bottle instead of 5.
Yeah, compliance as easy as possible, which equals results. And if I got to buy 1 bottle, not 6, that equals value.
There you
So
go.
let's take a look at the 6 main ingredients in the Thermogenesis Complete. We have the PRTs, the Capsamax. We have the PRT, the Ervingia, and the Garcinia. So 3 main ingredients and then 3 support nutrients with what?
Well, first of all of these have been sold separately.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? They've all been sold separately, and now they're all in one. And this is just what makes it complete. I love it. You have raspberry ketones, mulberry leaf, and the green coffee bean extract. Now, we've used that for years, right? It's in our oranges because it gives you the benefit without the bad. The chlorogenic and the caffeic acids give you that steady energy. Cellular energy is what we call it.
So we used to have these all individually. Then we had the berry tone, and we've had Garcinia. So we decided as a team, let's bring them together and let's add the secret weapon, which is the Capsimax.
Yes, on top of everything else. That's from capsaicin. That's what that is, from cayenne peppers. And what are cayenne peppers? They're hot. They burn, right? And that's what it does in your body.
Yeah, some people worry they're physically become hot and overheated.
No.
Not true.
No.
The cellular level just means that our fireplace is cooking more. The mitochondria inside the cell, otherwise known as the blast furnace, right? The powerhouse of the cell is going to be working at a better rate, and it's able to process more nutrients, burn more, give you more energy, and also help with the excretion process. So excellent. Capsimax does all these great things.
Does all of those things. I love that little picture of the peppers on there, too.
And the other thing that it'll do is it'll decrease your body mass across the board, right? So you want a lower body mass because the old BMI, body mass index. The other thing it'll help do is it'll help you maintain more muscle, right? Because it's able to tap into the fat storage quicker. It works on triglycerides, cholesterol, and glucose levels. So all published research, and in fact, some of the newer research is looking at cooling down the low-grade inflammation and oxidation that's been occurring when a lot of people are going through this change.
And I think what we really want everyone to understand about this is it's going to balance the body mass, right? Lower some of the fat, increase some of the muscle tissue. That's the key.
In addition, the second key PRT in here is the Ervingia, otherwise known as what?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, there you go.
That's a G-ism, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So this ingredient by itself really works on the leptin and adiponectin. So what does that mean, Joe?
All right, so that goes back to what we just talked about, and that means, are you always hungry? Can you never feel full? Well, that's an imbalance of those hormones.
Oh, years ago when I hit my top weight of 293.
Woo!
Yep, it was some good and some bad and some ugly, right? But what I noticed when working with a nutritionist in Florida, he was asking me, do you ever feel really full? I says, no, I actually don't. I said, I'm always craving food, and it never seems to be enough, right? And wasn't able to burn body fat, even with workouts of up to 2 hours, right? So he said, your leptin and adiponectin levels are out of balance. If you don't change that, you can forget about it.
Right. And you don't hear anybody talking about that, right? No.
He was way before his time. So we're going back, 15 years or so. So we started working on our Ervingia, the African mango.
Yes.
And, our original formula was called Leptin Balance, if you remember, years ago. That was a cornerstone, which has evolved over the years into Thermogenesis Complete. So just a little background, but it does help with the cortisol, the leptin and adiponectin levels, so you feel full.
Right.
Right? You're not craving all the time. Your body is shifted now from storing fat to burning fat, so your energy levels are higher.
Yeah.
Right? So you feel much better and much more in control. And that's where the beginning of the comeback started, right? So body weight, body fat, waist circumference. In addition, same thing, blood sugar levels, LDL, and cholesterol, just like the Capsimax, because, folks, these are all tied together.
Yeah.
Blood sugar, blood pressure, weight, body comp management, cholesterol, lipids, triglycerides, and all your cardiovascular risk factors. They're all tied together. They're not separate things that go on in the body. They are connected like a web of health.
And what's that number now?
The number for weight?
From 293 to what?
I got down for the summertime to 208. That was my goal.
Wow, almost 90 pounds.
Well, it was over a course of quite a few years, of
All
course,
right.
but it went in stages. But now it's in the teens, so I'll get back down by beach time.
By beach time, by April.
208. So if I go up 10 or 15 pounds, it's not terrible, but I'm definitely right on that edge of now it's coming down. I started today with the cleanse, so it'll come down soon. Remember, you don't always add more fat cells. Your fat cells will swell, right? You're holding water. That's why when you first start to lose, you lose that initial 5 pounds. They're starting to shrink, and that's what's occurring now. The good news is that I got rid of all my fat clothes.
Ah, new wardrobe.
Yeah.
That's a positive side effect. PSE.
Yes. And you should do that too, because you don't want to leave them there to go try
Right.
them on, right?
Right.
I'm still on my last belt loop, so it's time for a new belt. But it's really, my secret is consistency, right? Because what somebody may consider okay once in a while, for me it's not, right? I'm better off without it.
Everybody needs to know their own belt, their own body.
So let's hear about the Garcinia. I know you've been around a few years.
Yeah.
And Garcinia's been around almost as long as we
Almost,
have.
yeah. It's been around all these years. It was the first one. It's still one of the best. It's still very unique. This is a fruit that yields a specific compound called hydroxycitric acid. That stimulates the body to produce or not to produce an enzyme that converts ingested carbohydrates to fat.
That's
So
the secret.
that's the secret, right? And I think still, I mean, the pizza, the burgers, the pastas, it's still the carbs that are a lot of people's weakness.
Yeah, it's energy. If you don't burn it, you will store it.
You'll
Not
store
only
it.
that, you have a low level of ability to store carbohydrates, right?
Yes.
So the more muscle you have, glycogen in the liver. But once that's full, any fat you eat, good or bad, has a very high probability of being stored as fat.
That's right.
Let me say that again. If your carb levels are full and you're not burning off what you're using, any fat you eat will get converted. That's why we recommend a lower carb diet, starch especially, or a lower fat diet.
That's
and for
right.
some people, both.
That's right.
I do better on a very low or moderate fat and very low or no starch. Everyone's a little bit different. So let's see some of the studies,
Look
Joe.
at this.
8 trials, 500 subjects, and significantly compared to placebo.
It's been
Weight,
around.
BMI, and waist circumference.
Yeah, absolutely. Been around. Tried and true. It's been here a long time, so we did not want to leave it out of our thermogenesis complete.
So we got a few minutes left, Joe. Let's hear about some of the support ingredients, like green coffee bean extract.
Green coffee bean extract. In the simplest of terms, it gives you the benefit of coffee without the detriment of the caffeine, right? And so it's not a spike. It's that smooth, steady cellular energy. At the cellular level, the caffeic acids, the chlorogenic acids produce all of the good stuff that you need from a coffee bean that's, coffee beans are loaded with antioxidants in nature until they're so refined and destroyed. But this gives us the benefit without the detriment.
Yeah, and also helps really delay this issue going on in inhibiting gluconeogenesis, right? So what that means is your body will break down muscle and convert it to glucose. It is not something we want to do.
No, that's kind of opposite of what we want, isn't it?
Too bad we couldn't break down the carbs and build muscle.
Yeah.
But the body don't work that way. But it's really a mechanism of action there if you were in starvation mode, right? That you can convert some of this into some of the proteins that you need. So we don't want to do that. So be very careful when you're trying to lose weight that you don't lose too much muscle. That's why the shakes is so important. The exercise is so important. Most people that lose weight, especially losing more than 10 or 15 pounds, which most people could probably in our country lose 20 or more.
Easily.
Some 50, some 100. You want to make sure you're not just focused on the scale. Body comp management, we want to preserve lean body mass, even build some muscle, because that's where you're going to get the shape and the tone and the curves and the firmness we all want. But you got to be able to create an environment in the body that will help build muscle. It's not easy. Don't worry. I've never met anyone who quit working out because they got too good of results. Have you?
No.
Why do they usually quit?
Because it's too hard.
Or they don't get
they
any
don't
results.
get any results, because that's why.
So we have it down to a science now with these ingredients. What about the raspberry ketones?
Yeah, and this is something we've been using for years too. And it helps contribute to that process of keeping those hormones in balance. So instead of just one mechanism of action for helping with that, we have two in here.
Yeah, and again, it works on adiponectin levels, right? So
Feeling
really
full.
nice.
Yep.
And last is the mulberry leaf.
Yeah, that's a nice addition to this formula because we can never, ever discount the effectiveness and the importance of blood sugar regulation, right?
Well,
there it is.
look at the new weight
Is that
solutions,
beautiful?
Joe. You guys did a great job, you and the team.
Sammy did a great job.
Must
Look
have
at
did
that.
it while I was on vacation.
Nah, you're never on vacation. Even when you are, you're not.
But where can they find the weight solutions guide?
It's right on in the website And all you have to do is go to education, and you'll find them all right there. Go to catalog, you'll find all the wellness solutions. And, it's neat because you can open them page by page electronically.
I like that.
On the website. If you want them in hard copy, folks, we have those too.
Well, you said about education, Joe. We have so many educational opportunities available for healthcare professionals, staff, your patients, consumers. We have events going on this year leading up to the big PTE in early April at the beach down in Clearwater, Florida, right?
Yeah,
at
I'm
Sand
looking
Key.
forward to that.
Can't wait. So if you're a healthcare professional with VIP dinners coming to your area, plus we have outside field consultants that can come right to your office and bring the director of training right with you.
Happy to be there. Happy to be there to
So,
help you out.
As director of education, Joe, he's available to come in your office to do Zoom trainings,
Exactly.
to customize the education for you and your team.
Yeah, and that's something new that we just started in the last couple of months is that, customizing the education to the scope of products that you're bringing into your business.
So there you go. So thanks so much for all support. You made Q1 2024 our best quarter ever. So
Was.
we're so proud of that. Thank you so much for all the support you give. We really feel grateful for that. And God bless to everyone. Let's make Q2 even better than Q1.
Absolutely. I mean, we're only going up. There's no other direction.